This is episode 17, and my name is Ashley Wahlstrom. I'm an opera singer from Dallas, Texas.
And my name is Brian Wahlstrom. I'm a punk rocker with a piano, classically trained background. Sorry, can we cut this?
And together, they're fucking terrible.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the All Business Podcast.
It's very businessy.
All the time.
Ooh.
And
That's a good title.
Do you like that? Okay.
That's the new podcast name now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's why our podcast never gains any
Oh,
traction.
that's
It's because
it.
every guest we have, we rename the podcast.
You should probably have some consistency.
it's hard to, the
Yeah.
search results are
Let's just make this one an about.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool.
What's it about?
Who cares?
I know
we
that
have
well.
we have Brian Wahlstrom and Ashley Wahlstrom with us.
Coincidental last name.
Yeah,
No relation.
No relation.
Super common name.
Principal vagina, no relation.
That's a
It's a Rick and Morty joke.
way to alienate the guests from the get-go.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't get
we
the
were
joke.
potty talking
Here we
tonight.
are.
Let me get another beer.
Yeah, we're
in
fucking
there.
potty talking.
Yeah, this
No,
is...
it's absolutely uncensored. And if we end up getting
Fuck
into a
yeah.
conversation where
Right?
you don't want to fucking let it out, like if we start talking shit about somebody, like
You can totally tell
mean,
us what
I
you
don't-
Why
want
would
to
I
talk-
listen to a podcast that didn't talk shit?
I don't
want to
get weird,
Right,
that's
but
true.
Yeah.
usually we just sit around and talk shit about Davey.
Yeah.
So
And which is awkward 'cause he
he's
produces it.
editing it,
No,
so that's why you
he's
never
talking
hear.
shit too.
Right,
If
exactly.
you listen to a
Himself.
podcast, there's no
Kinda the
talking shit
main
about Davey. He's really good about
Yeah.
cutting around it.
Which is why when we have 4-hour conversations, we only end up with a 25-minute podcast.
Exactly.
Cut out all the shit talking about Davey.
Right.
That's why you guys do one podcast a month, because he spends like the whole time editing.
Trying to cut out
That's
his
right,
own.
cutting out all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a gun in my mouth.
Oh man.
I forgot, when
Anyways.
did we name my dick, quote-unquote, a gun?
That's a Davey
did we come
question
up with
because that was
Well,
between you
what's
two.
unfortunate too, I would love to just call your dick the gun, but that would imply that's the only one that's in my mouth daily.
Yeah.
I liked the pause before the laughter started. That's called a 420 pause.
God.
Yeah.
That's... Yeah,
Like
We're
3
recording
seconds
this
later, everybody laughs.
On April 20th.
That's true. It is. We're in a house.
Happy Hitler's birthday.
Aw.
Columbine High School. Ooh, ooh.
Oh, I grew up like, wow, let's not get too real.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
it's
he's
not
I grew
crying.
up wanting to shoot a bunch of people at school.
My
can't
joke
see
had
him.
less deaths than his joke.
I grew
Yeah,
up to
that's
be
true.
a mass murderer.
Funny weird
open.
story. My mom was
no.
actually across the street from Columbine High School when it happened. She was like in the neighborhood working.
So that's not funny.
Some
That's more
random thing.
scary.
I mean, she wasn't like in the
Yeah.
gunfire. She was just at a hotel like near the school.
And thank you for having us.
and then 9/11. She was in a hotel across from the Pentagon when that happened.
Holy shit.
What the hell?
How come
I think she's
every-
never hang out with her
Never
anymore.
gonna hang
Yeah.
out with her while
Yeah,
she's
that-
across the
No,
street
he
from
does
me.
this. Every podcast we've ever done together about business and music, he talks about his mom every time. Finds a way to bring her up.
Sounds like an issue.
It's like-
you guys need to talk
It's like
about
every
that.
podcast, every morning, every sex,
Every single sense.
marriage. Right?
We're so happy.
You know what's funny is every time Josh and I have sex, I actually talk about your mom too.
So,
It's
it's really weird.
I thought
Well,
it was just a weird
that's
quirk,
weird.
but I guess apparently,
Yeah.
But
other people do.
I hope it makes you feel a little bit better. Every time your mom has sex, she and I talk about you.
So
My mom's actually passed away.
Yeah, it doesn't
Why
mean
are you
Davey can't
laughing?
still
I
have
don't
sex
know.
with her.
Trust me, I know.
Trust me, I know.
Like, what is that? Is that sexual?
Is it?
Hey, Mom.
Oh. Anyways, I mean, I'm gonna get kind of serious. I just wanted to. I mean, we'll probably do intros and stuff later, but both Brian and Ashley, for our listeners, are musicians, among other things. And so, like, I mean, That's a really boring segue I just did.
I'm going to create a theme song for Sandy's boring
segue. It's going to be just like it's going to be like Sandy's best and worst.
Yeah.
Are you guys down to sing on it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do it right now. Let's just do it right now.
Sandy's boring segues. Everybody find harmonies there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sandy's boring segues.
Oh,
and I'll just cut that and put it where it needs to go.
Yep.
Done.
Perfect.
That was nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Good.
Right after my boring segue. How you guys doing?
We have with
everyone
us
in the room.
2 people.
So
Just regular people.
specifically,
We're great.
then let's start with Brian. Brian, tell us what you do.
Finally. All right. So,
Get in there.
what do I do? Music or work?
Talk about both.
Both. Well, the one I like more. Neither. Well, I am a musician. I used to be full-time piano bar person. And I don't know what I do with music now. I just actually finished a new EP that's coming out
Killer
pretty
album
soon.
coming out soon. Yeah.
And I've always been a piano person, and I've always been a punk rock person, and so I found a way to jam them together. We don't have a band name yet. Maybe we can come up with one tonight.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, we wanted
that's
to go.
dangerous.
Oh,
Don't get
Davy Rocket and the something.
that's it.
That's it.
And the something.
Not the somethings. The something.
right.
Just one thing.
Just one other thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because a band should perform as a unit, except the front man, who's me.
Yeah.
In your band.
Yeah, it's about the people in the back. The front
Right.
guy's just filler.
Exactly.
Yeah. So and then so work. I work at a company called Gig Town. It's which you guys know, or you guys were some of our best artists. Most
Your
reliable.
check is in the mail.
Most reliable. But yeah, so we're a local music platform. It's a mobile app and web interface to book local musicians for fans that are looking to hire musicians for their events, or it's a place for people to go and find out who's playing around town locally, like non-ticketed events, like restaurants and stuff.
So your album that's coming out,
Yeah, exactly.
you've been working on this for a while.
Andy, you heard he did his job. Okay,
That's
onward.
gigtown.com. All right. Anyway, about me. No. Yeah, it's taken way too long, but
Just from hearing the like preliminary tracks though, it's gonna be really fucking
dude.
good.
Acclaim, insatiable aim. Nothing or no one will stand in her way. Lights fade.
yeah,
It's gonna be
we're
really
happy. It's a thing that my drummer and I, Paul, came up with a while back. We were on a tour together in this band called Bad Loud, and we'd never met, but I was a huge fan of a couple bands that he was in. In fact, the first show I ever went to was at Soma in San Diego. It was Lagwagon, Agent 51 from Poway, and this band opened Armchair Martian, and I was like 16. And I went to this, and I'd just become a Lagwagon fan like a month before, so I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And this drummer just throwing his sticks in the air, just killing it. He's amazing. I'd never seen anything like it. And then now, 15 years later, we're in a band together. But we met, we kind of we first met on this Europe tour, and he was drumming and I was playing keyboards in Bad Loud. And then we both discovered we were Billy Joel fans. And he was like, no, I'm like obsessed with Billy Joel. I'm like, no, I am obsessed. He's like, no, dude, you don't understand.
you don't
And so
understand.
then during sound check, we started just messing around and playing like fast, because that's what, Bad Loud is more of a fast band.
Yeah.
And so we were just doing like fast piano stuff. And then I went home after the tour and wrote a couple songs. Paul and I started gigging like a little bit here and there at this hotel in Mexico. Super weird, but I met a guy at a restaurant and he owned a hotel in Mexico.
Everybody that I meet in bars.
That's the best part about playing in piano bars.
Usually I wake up without
people.
a kidney, though. That's usually you got some gigs.
I have 3 kidneys. That's why I'm still here.
Third one is Davies.
So yeah, we got together again and started doing like cover songs and stuff at this hotel down in Mexico. It's called Rancho De Enero. It was super fun time, and we'd play Friday and Saturday, and then we'd take a bunch of days off and just write music. And so we ended up writing, I think we did 10 songs originally, but when we finally recorded, we just trimmed it down to 5 songs because we wanted to do all the drums in one day. We did that up in Big Fish Studios, Killer Studios,
Where's
up
that?
in Encinitas, like kind of Rancho Santa Fe area. And and then Steve Morris from Unwritten Law lived across the street from me, and he coincidentally took me on my first tour of my band Hornswoggled from 1999 to 2005 we were around, and Unwritten Law took us on our first tour, and we opened up for them, and Steve was the lead guitar player and just coincidentally lived across the street from me at the time I wrote the album with Paul.
That's
and
great.
said, hey dude, you want to play in my band? And he's like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That time
super
period,
weird.
they were hot shit. In
we
99.
We were lucky. They brought us on a tour. It was their Elva tour, so it was after the Black album. I think they took like 4 years off after that album, and then did the Elva tour, and we did like the West Coast and some Arizona, Texas and stuff. But yeah, so Steve was like the first couple of practices was like, hey dude, like kind of scared him, but he's like the nicest guy ever. And so he came in and loved the concept and brought like more aggression to it.
Already dead.
Which is what we knew we were missing. We just didn't know how to tackle it.
Think aloud. Confirm, corroborate. And do a
For a long time, we were just piano and drums.
too many reds, too many blues. We can't derive a view, so we escape. Scavenger inside, self-esteem construction site. Build a prototype of your life.
And then we just finished, and I kind of produced it, I guess, but we did the mixing at Orange Whip Studios up in Santa Barbara. Angus Cook's the guy who owns the studio and an amazing producer. He did like Ataris. He did.
Oh shit!
He helped doing.
That was like the second concert I ever went to.
Really?
Colorado Springs Music Hall. The Ataris. I got to introduce. I'm sorry. This just like came
Yeah,
flooding back to me.
Yeah.
I was like 14, and I mean there was maybe like 200 people at the show. There wasn't a lot. So I saw the singer before, and I was like, "Hey, can I introduce you guys?" And my friends were like, "I dare you to mispronounce their name." And I introduced them as the Ataris. And it was like the funniest
that
shit.
better, actually.
I was like a
That's kinda cool.
superstar at my high school
Yeah.
the next day.
So weird way to tie this all together. They did a tour last year. It's called "You Called the Shots," or maybe it was 2 years ago. And Paul, my drummer, is kind of like one of those guys you can throw him in any band, and in a day he'll learn all
Yeah,
the
no
songs.
kidding.
And they're like, we want to do this tour. Here's the concept. People just shout out the song they want off our entire catalog, and that's what we play during the whole tour.
That's
so he had to learn like
Damn.
he had to learn
Oh,
like
shit.
40 songs.
Oh,
and
man.
then yeah. So but for the Ataris, so Paul played in the Ataris on a tour a couple years ago. So anyway, yeah. And then the best part of the whole freaking story is I needed a bass player.
Oh shoot!
And
I don't know any bass players. so-
yeah, and I just thought, who's the
How'd you
best guy?
find that guy?
And then he wasn't available.
So you went with the
And
worst?
I was just with
just
this
needed
guy at
one
the
extreme.
time. No. And I've always been a fan of Davey's music and his mind and personality.
on.
So, yeah, it was a perfect fit. And then we did that stuff. I need to give a shout out, too, if this part even makes the podcast, which I hope it doesn't, because it's so boring. But Tim Eiler did
Yeah,
the tracking, and he's an awesome dude. And he also did a lot of the videos for Gig Town.
Yep.
Tree Seed Media is his company, and he does tons of interesting stuff. And so he tracked most of the record, vocals and Davey's bass.
Nice.
Yeah,
So,
super.
yeah.
We should talk about that concept that he has too. That
Yeah.
you guys have.
What one?
If you want to give away your secrets.
Which concept?
The idea of like a week week retreat.
Oh yeah, to go to his
record.
house and record. and
Maybe we
video.
shouldn't talk about it, huh?
Why not?
I don't know, because I don't know, some like snide little person with
Don't
a lot
look
of
at me
money
like
will
that.
just
Oh,
come in and do it right out from under you. No, I'm just kidding.
You're the editor of this podcast.
I'm right, and I want you to fail. I cannot stress that enough.
Well, there's 1 week records which already exist, so people could already steal that. And trust
Okay.
me, they haven't. Yeah, so I guess I should probably mention something about that. I also am a partner in a record label with Joey Cape, the singer for Lagwagon. He has this really cool concept where he invites people to his house for a week. They do 10 songs, and then we release the record for $5 on digital only. So artists own the music and they're allowed to do physical copies. We just own the digital rights.
that's cool.
And the artist makes 50% of royalty, and it's been awesome. We've done really good. Joey's the guy behind the whole thing. I kind of just help with some of the business stuff and the website stuff, but he's an incredible producer, and his whole thing is like bringing back the days of when songs were important and how like really writing a good song and a good melody, and that's what matters, and so the whole concept is you don't just do like a high, well-produced record there. You do a demo, basically. And that's more important. Like the writing is more important than how it actually comes out. So some of the stuff, you're not going to go, wow, this is an amazing production.
Yeah.
But you go, wow, that's a damn good song.
That definitely shows
That's
in his
really
songs
cool.
too. I mean, there's some
Yeah.
like math and like technical elements, but they aren't for the sake of being clever or difficult. It's whatever serves
Yeah.
the song.
Yeah, he's drilled it in my head since I've known him, and it's just melody. It's like
Yeah,
the
it
old,
shows
it's
in
the
your
old
music,
school
man,
way
a
of
lot.
thinking about music.
Yeah.
It's like I wish I took what he taught me and actually implemented it more in my songs. But for him, it's like I've watched him write, and it's you never settle.
Yeah.
It's like that melody is not good enough.
Right.
And the only way to really understand, like even have the palate for that, I think, is by being an encyclopedia of music. You have to be able to recall, like, oh, that's a Cars song, or oh yeah, I remember when Pink Floyd or whatever. You have to be able to know all that stuff, and then you can assess, like, okay, is this something that's already been done? Is this something
There's
that's
no shortcut to that.
yeah. So
Man, I've got to say, from my perspective, though, what a trip to get to play on your record and be involved with like Lagwagon people. It's just such a like. I'm so far removed from that music world now, but those were like my absolute favorite bands as a kid. It's insane to be.
It's a cool
even
little
involved in-
reminder and rewind to why you started to
Yeah.
get into music in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's cool because I took all these departures along the way. Like, I got into plenty of punk rock that wasn't that musical, and plenty of rock and other styles of music that maybe weren't that musical before I got into musicianship.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow I found my way back to the first styles of music I was into, and have realized that those were like the most musical acts of the genre.
yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's totally satisfying. It's not like it's just this.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
still
There's
stimulating.
complexity to it.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel good that the guys somehow, not guys, girls, the people that are in those bands care about, they're the ones. The reason why I love the punk scene so much, it's kind of cheesy, but it's true. It's about community, and it's like not about fame. It's not about that. It's about, they really care about the art of music, and it's a really cool scene. But you don't realize it sometimes, and you see like bands kind of spawn off of it and go, oh, that's a cool sound. We're gonna take that and commercialize it more or whatever, and just copy it. And that the punk scene just continues to get stronger and stronger. I mean, like, you go out to shows, it's amazing. There's always people involved in the scene, and there's no scene really for anything else like
Right,
that.
yeah,
I guess
yeah.
like you could say maybe rap or something, but
Community is
Yeah, that
kinda what
community
it is.
matters. Like people want to see those people that they always see at shows, and they want to sing the lyrics,
Right.
and they want to like even new bands nowadays. Still, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
That's
That's
cool.
rad.
I can't wait for your record.
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
Me too. Jeez, it's been like 2 years.
Is there like any kind of tentative release date?
Well, yeah, no date, but we've got a cool opportunity for an actual label to put it out.
Right.
That's
Which
awesome.
I will
Fat Rat?
tell you later.
When
right.
that happens, awesome.
I wish. No, but yeah, I'll tell you about that later. It's
All right.
cool. It's
It's
a
on the
cool thing.
DL. That's need to know.
We call it.
basis.
It's on the Hughley.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
On
so
that
sorry.
note,
We've
You
never
guys,
said that.
I've
I've
Nobody's
been
ever said
waiting
that.
for DL Hughley to come up organically because I love it.
Okay, sorry. So,
Ashley,
with that, Ashley, why don't you tell us a little bit about D.L.
Ashley's-
Hughley and
Ashley
how you're
loves
involved?
DL Hughley, and
Love.
most of the songs you've sung in your whole career have been about DL Hughley,
Or,
right?
Either
or
overtly or
inspired by-
covertly.
Yeah.
Right.
No, Ashley is a completely different type of musician from Brian.
I'm
He's interesting.
an opera singer.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
So,
What else can I say?
the end. Yeah.
Also, yes, that is all the speaking she will be doing
Yeah.
during this interview.
She's living in a humidifier. She's like typical diva.
Yeah. Can you hold my
And,
scarf?
and I cannot emphasize enough that it's not at all because she's a total bitch.
That's a coincidence.
That has little to nothing to do with why she's not going to be speaking.
Why would I mean, how did you guys meet, first of all? So,
We met in grad school
Yeah.
in New York at the Manhattan School of Music.
stupid.
It's really important, actually. Really important.
I
And yes,
The podcast can't see your face, so that sounded real.
your sarcasm apparently
Yeah, it
doesn't
Didn't
it
translate.
filter
doesn't.
through the
I just want people to
Microphone
know
there.
that I'm important. I was important when Brian met me. I was important before he met me. After,
Yeah.
it's just the most. I just have to say that.
Yeah.
So
It's
okay.
important that people know.
Well, yeah.
that you're
Thank
important.
you. Yes.
Thank you.
And you're important for
more
people to
you-
know.
Importance. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So we were both singing opera when we met.
Okay.
He had a whole previous life as a punk rocker,
And you're,
kind of fell into opera for a few years. He like
years.
how do you fall into
he
opera?
went through an opera phase,
Okay.
like we all do.
Of course. In college. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually,
So-
that's
So he just kind of sang opera in undergrad and in grad school, and then went back to
a couple
singing.
years in China and then quit.
Yeah,
It's the old
the old
years in
opera
China
phase.
story.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty boring. I've only ever done opera, so
That's not boring.
It's not true, you twerk.
that's right. Yes.
Twerkra. That is a weird new avant-garde art form.
It's a regional
Actually-
opera thing. Yeah.
Actually,
What
It's
was
new
your
music.
Yeah.
your like the genesis of you getting into opera?
Twerking.
What was
Oh.
that? Twerking, yeah. Twerking, sorry. Not
well, I'd rather talk about twerking,
Okay.
but
And deal
I guess
usually.
it's more relevant to talk about music. So I started off singing since I could talk, and singing, jazz and pop and R&B and not opera, until I went to performing arts middle school and a performing arts high school because I would have gotten beat up at a regular school. So I got a voice teacher when I was 14, and she told me to learn an aria, and I was like, lame, like, fuck you, okay, I'll learn an aria. But I did, and I was like, this is really, really cool. This is like
What are you?
Olympics for my voice.
Yeah, what are you?
It was an early, like 16th century Italian art song.
Was it in the Yellow Book? It must be in the
Yes,
Yellow
it
Book.
was in the
Oh,
24
shit.
Italian songs and arias. You betcha. Yeah, so I sang it, and then I never wanted to do anything else. Was hooked.
and then you didn't.
And then I didn't. Except for many part-time jobs to supplement
yes.
my income.
And you're a princess.
And I am
Right.
also a princess.
But that's
Right.
that's a tale for another day.
for another time. Princess Playdate.
It's a tale as old as time. Yeah, it's a tale as old as time, though.
I don't want to talk about princessplaydate.com.
It's actually how we met.
I was just
It was Brian's
in a
birthday.
van, tinted window.
One of the dads.
Someone told me to leave.
I booked a princess, and she
Yeah.
almost left when she
Yeah.
showed up, and there weren't any kids. At the birthday party.
That'd be ridiculous to book a musician on my phone.
Books a musician.
Wait a minute. I've heard of
From a
this.
phone.
Hold on.
Hold on a tick.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What
Like a
color would
cellular
it
phone?
be? If this was an app, what color would it be?
Yeah.
Was that a trick question?
Well, didn't Andy do this show?
He did.
He did.
He was on
like-
episode 3, I think.
Any
No.
Gigtown talk is old
Was
hat.
it 3? Yeah.
3 or 4?
He's done
We barely-
four?
No, he was
No,
on
number
episode
4.
3 or 4, I
yeah.
think.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But we barely talked about Gigtown because it was all about how we met Andy, and each of us have individual hilarious stories about how that
That
happened.
podcast was mostly about my balls.
It was mostly about Davey's balls.
It actually really was.
They came up quite a bit. And they came out quite a bit.
That's,
Much like every other podcast we've done. I'm sorry, guys, you haven't seen his balls yet.
that's aboutpodcast.com and available in the iTunes store. If you want to hear more about Davy's balls.
You want to see pictures? It's on our website in the extra section.
Daviesballs.com. Daviesballs.gov. Shut up!
We did
Sorry,
it.
my hands are sweaty.
No, that's okay. I'm actually going to use a sample, a high five sample, there, to make it sound like we nailed it.
Awesome.
Reverb.
It's going to be like way overdone. Yeah.
Yup.
Add an echo to it.
Totally.
Yeah, totally.
And then some applause after, like, oh shit, I don't know. All these kids gathered around and just
Why are they so small?
it auto-tune too. It's like,
absolutely.
God, I wish people could have just seen your face. That really sucks that they can't.
Well, so what does your gigging life look like now? How does that work? We were talking a little bit the other day about it.
So I sing locally, but I also sing out of state quite a bit more than I do sing locally. Just because there's only so many local gigs for opera singers.
Right.
Still waiting to get booked through Gigtown, waiting for someone to need an opera singer. Keeping my fingers crossed.
We'll hire you. We can't pay you in money.
Let's talk about that later.
Okay.
I like your futon.
Wonderful.
It's really nice.
It's an actual couch.
Could pay you in chunks of futon.
Thank you. It's real futon. What that
That's not a
means.
futon, that's a guitar.
Fortune. So I'm singing it with La Jolla Symphony this summer, and then
Ooh, that's exciting.
singing in Oklahoma, singing the role of Cinderella,
musical? Or
actually,
In
the state?
Oklahoma?
in the state of Oklahoma.
Oh, sweet.
Not the musical Oklahoma.
No, sorry, that is confusing.
Kind of is.
With Enid
Although
Symphony Orchestra.
Oklahoma's not an opera.
Honey, promote the dates.
Yeah.
You never know who's listening.
That's right.
True.
Enid Symphony Orchestra in Oklahoma in the fall. The dates are then or this 2017.
We're totally going to cut that in.
So,
What was the second one?
And
So that's September
Yeah.
35th.
yeah,
my family's in Oklahoma City, so there maybe you get some people to come out.
I would.
At least 2.
I can definitely give them tickets.
How?
For sure. Actually, it's amazing because it's Enid, Oklahoma, which you would think how many people want to go to the opera there. It's a 500-seat house, and they sell out every opera.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Which
Probably because
is-
there's not a lot of
Well, there's
operas
not a lot,
going
yeah.
through there.
Or
Anyone
not
who's into
any
opera goes there.
entertainment at all.
And it's the only air-conditioned building in the town.
There's not a movie theater.
In
There's no
September,
grocery
especially.
stores. Yeah, so it's a pretty big deal.
I think Enid, if I'm not mistaken, I think Enid's where Vance Air Force Base is too. So there's probably a large presence of people not from Oklahoma, which
Oh, yeah.
might supply a lot of the fans
Quite
of the opera
possibly.
close by. Yeah.
Give
Quite
us some
possibly.
culture,
Yeah.
please. I'm sorry, Oklahoma.
Sorry about that.
And they're like, it's okay.
Why is Oklahoma so many people?
Davey, you're fired.
Did you get that one?
That's the
No.
abbreviation.
Oh! That was really good.
That's really good.
Oh, man. Oh my gosh.
Right now, you should pull out the gun and just go.
Now it's the perfect
T-shirt.
film.
Go out on
gun.
top.
So the morning gun is the one he wakes up with, but then he has an evening gun. It's a
Right.
separate
Evening
gun.
gun, it's the different
Morning gun
one
is a
from
cool-
the morning
Morning
gun.
gun
name.
is pretty
That's a
rad.
kind of a cool
Morning
maybe
gun.
a band name.
Oh.
If not that,
Also
at
a
least
euphemism
a
for
Yeah.
a penis.
Yeah.
Morning gun.
Evening gun.
That's what
Oh,
it
you
would
just
seem
ruined
like.
it.
Yeah.
But so is
It's like morning wood, except
Yeah, morning gun.
Yeah.
There's lots of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like,
Like
that.
Red Hot Chili Pepper.
Morning gun is cool.
Nope.
That's like a dick. Is it? Like my dick? Yeah.
We're
you
not
need to go
killing
to a
numbers.
doctor.
That's what HPV will do.
Yeah, I'm in pain all the time.
Yeah. That habanero papillomavirus.
I see.
I'm craving Mexican food now. Is that weird? That's gross. That's gross.
I think that's the sweetest thing a wife could say to a husband. The spark's still there, folks.
I'm craving Mexican. Honey, let's go. Thank you for having us.
Oh shit.
And then I'm
So-
going to Alaska.
Oh,
Oh, snap.
That's going to be really cool because I've never been.
yeah.
Anchorage.
What is it though?
It is the opera As One. It's a contemporary opera, a living composer named Laura Kaminsky. It's actually a really cool concept. So it's a two-person opera, woman, which is me.
Oh, hopefully.
I didn't want to brag. And a male singer. And we play one person. We play a transgender person.
Oh.
So I play her after she's transitioned, and he plays her before she's transitioned. And her name is Hannah. Kind of cool. Palindrome. I don't know if you got that. Oh, yeah. There's so many of those types of things in this opera. Just it's so well thought out. It took so long to write. It took like many trips to Norway. Like one of those pieces where you're just living it. And it's loosely based on someone's real life experiences, but it's kind of combined with other stuff, just common things like the moment that you pass for the first time when, someone called her a she, and her heart was just so full, and it was, the next chapter in her life.
Was her heart
That's
so
cool.
full that she had to sing?
Actually,
I hope.
throughout the entire thing, it's really annoying because in this opera, there's no talking,
So it's
just
Oh,
singing.
really?
so it's like
Is
a
it
rock
even
opera,
recitative?
but not with rock music.
Or is it actual
There's some
singing?
recitative. There's some recitative. Recitative is dialogue in opera. It's spoke sung. Thank you.
We do cut in definitions into the podcast typically, but Patrick Stewart does them later.
Oh my
And
gosh.
that's all done in
Don't
post.
I
But
feel
thank you
like
for
an
doing that. That
idiot?
was really sweet.
No.
Now he'll know what to do with the
Patrick Stewart
guide.
comes and does our definitions.
Oh, you did recitative. Recitative.
Exactly.
That was really good.
God damn it.
How are you enjoying the program so far?
Man, he's old.
It's so good though.
He's not that old, is he?
I like that
I can't tell.
the implication behind
I
my
have a
he's so
poster
good
of
though
him
means
or
old
whatever.
people are shitty.
Well,
so
he's
good, though.
old, but we should still let him live.
That's not what I meant. I mean, maybe a little, but not really.
Can I just get you to say separately, that's
That's
exactly
exactly
what
what
I
I
meant?
meant.
That's perfect. That'll work fine.
What
You
does
should
that
have said Mentos and made him cut it. Like,
Oh, that's okay.
yeah.
Meant. Sorry, that was. I just really wanted to try it out. I'm sorry, that was like really important for me.
You gotta put it in your mouth and let it out, and then be like, oh no, nope,
Nope,
that
that's
didn't
not-
work.
That's what
Did-
so
totally
many
said it.
people.
She did, yeah.
So many people.
It's been said.
I'm ready for another beer.
You ready for
I'll
I
get
it?
think
this for
that's
you.
probably.
Yeah,
Are we
we're
in there?
actually,
I
think
yeah,
we're good to go,
I think
yeah.
we're in there.
We
Let's-
got it. Do you have anything
last minute- yeah.
any last minute specific plugs that either of you want to do
Besides-
coming up?
If you're in the Montreal area on May 20th, I'll be playing at Pousa Fest at Foof's, the main room.
Now say it in English.
It's pronounced Foof's.
Is that real?
That is real, actually.
That's so great.
Go see Brian at
I play at 9:15.
There we go.
It's not a real
This comes out in
time.
June.
So is the name of the place just a sound, and you have to like put words to it?
There's actually no
Almost in the-
vowel.